Yo guys, what's up? It's been quite an active summer season for Sonic fans everywhere, especially when it comes to Sonic Frontiers. It is the next mainline title for Sonic, so when Sega finally started spilling the beans on it, of course it would turn heads and quills. From trailers to articles, we've learned a lot about Frontiers, though much of it was limited to written impressions rather than being given full-on demonstrations. That is up until the Nintendo Partner Direct, which happened near the end of June. There, we got an unexpected trailer for Frontiers, and boy was it a good one! As such, hype for Sonic Frontiers was revitalized instantly, and now we have a lot to discuss for it. So much so that I couldn't possibly fit it all into one video no matter how hard I tried, especially with my tendency to be overly detailed on even the simplest of things. I will admit to that much. So, to make things easier on myself and on you guys, what I've decided to do is split my input on Sonic Frontiers into a variety of videos. Starting with this one, where we will discuss the return of the Drop Dash. It's possible you might not have realized this because any mentions of it were so brief that it was easy to miss, but yes, the Drop Dash has been confirmed for Sonic Frontiers. It first came up in an IGN Q&A video done by Mitchell Saltzman, where he addresses a variety of questions from Twitter users about Sonic Frontiers. One of the questions was answered during a rapid-fire session near the end of the Q&A. The question that was asked was that if Sonic Spin, Dash, and Roll would be returning for Sonic Frontiers, to which Mitchell said no, but that there was a Drop Dash, and then he proceeded to the next question straight away. So casual of you to do that, just mention the Drop Dash and then peace out right after. But yo, I respect that. There's also a very brief clip of the Drop Dash being demonstrated for Frontiers, but given the quality of it, yeah, good luck trying to see it. Furthermore, I believe a Drop Dash will be a part of Sonic's starting moveset, just like it was in Mania, Forces, and most recently, Sonic Origins. If I'm actually wrong and they make it so that you have to unlock the Drop Dash in Frontiers, I will be mildly irritated, but not much more than that if it's a skill you unlock early on. Speaking of which, a list of skills that you can unlock from the skill tree was shared by Game Informer last week. After you unlock the side loop ability, you can unlock 11 other skills and 3 more from story progression. The skills to be unlocked with story progression weren't mentioned, I believe, but the 11 other skills alongside the side loop were in fact listed. The Drop Dash, however, was not among them, so I'm pretty sure it will be a part of Sonic's base moveset. Given that Sonic Frontiers is going to be an open zone game, I imagine that players will have a lot of fun utilizing the Drop Dash both in cyberspace and out of the Starfall Islands, as unlike the boost, the Drop Dash is not tied to a resource, so you can use it as often as you like. Also, because you can improve Sonic's speed along with the rest of his statistics, that makes me imagine how much better the Drop Dash could potentially become. Oh my god. I can imagine the open zone era being completely at your mercy if it works the way I think it does. Oh goody. However, I also prefer it when the stages are designed in a way that impacts Sonic's movement, even for the most basic of things. For example, the classic games. Whenever Sonic goes down a slope, be it by rolling or running, he picks up speed. On the flip side, when he goes up a slope, he slows down. But this is what the Spin Dash was invented for in 1992. It addresses that problem directly, as do the Boost and the Drop Dash. So if anyone was ever concerned about having their experience in a Sonic game slowed down by the existence of slopes, it hasn't been a problem since Sonic 2, especially now that we have more than one answer to that problem. Well, it did become a problem again when Sonic 4 Episode 1 released in 2010, but let's not talk too much about that, okay? Anyway, after watching the first wave of footage for Sonic Frontier, I noticed a distinct lack of change in Sonic's speed whenever he ran up or down a slope. The only time I ever saw his speed change was when he used the boost or when he grinded along rails. But as I said a bit ago, you can level up Sonic's speed in Frontiers, so whatever concerns I had about the Drop Dash possibly not being maximized here should not become a factor, at least I hope so. But why do I consider the addition of a Drop Dash to be so significant for Sonic Frontiers? Well, I'd be happy to answer that for you. Since it was introduced in 2017's Sonic Mania, we quickly became addicted to the Drop Dash, to the point that when we tried to revisit the 2D classic Sonic games, we tried to use a drop dash even though it was not actually there. So whenever it didn't activate, we found ourselves feeling confused. The way it was made, it feels so natural for Sonic that it feels like it's been around for much longer than 5 years, and that it might have actually been an unlockable skill in the classic games, but we never actually found it. Sega seems to agree with us on this, as the drop dash has been featured again in Sonic Origins for all 4 of the re-released classics. It's also a thing in Sonic Forces, but in that case, I think it was to encourage consistency between Force and Mania, as classic Sonic was featured in both games, and they do tie into one another canonically. This is evidenced by the best ending cutscene in Sonic Mania, which you unlock by getting all the Chaos Emeralds and defeating the final boss, the Egg Reverie. And though it will not surprise you to hear this at all, both Sonic modders and fan game developers have been quick to adopt the drop dash into their own projects. A smart move indeed. But why does the drop dash feel so natural that it's like it's always been there and we simply haven't realized it yet? Well, this is because it takes 2 of Sonic's most essential basics for platforming, the jump and the spin dash, and combines them into an all-for-one move that is readily available. To use the drop dash, first you jump. Then when you press the jump button a second time, you keep it held down. In doing so, Sonic will charge a spin dash in mid-air, and when he lands back on the ground, off he goes. With a spin dash, you normally have to come to a stop first, crouch, and then mash the jump button like crazy to charge it, which by the way, you cannot do with the drop dash. You can charge the spin dash by repeatedly tapping jump so that when you release it, you launch at more speed, but with a drop dash, you cannot charge it, so you'll typically be released at the same speed whenever you use it. I say typically because if you use it on slopes instead, the results may change dramatically, and you might find yourself going even faster by using the drop dash. You could also just roll while running if you wanted, but let's face it, once you've used the drop dash enough times, you'll find yourself preferring it over just about everything else. Seriously, there were other skills added to Mania for Sonic to utilize, like the Super Peel Out and the Insta Shield, but both of them paled in comparison to how convenient the drop dash was, so I don't blame anybody if they did not use either the Insta Shield or the Peel Out at all. You can also use the drop dash as something of a self-correction measure. Like if you're going in one direction, and you decide you suddenly want to turn around after jumping, no problem. If you jump in one direction, but start moving in the opposite direction while charging the drop dash, once you release the drop dash, you will go in completely the opposite direction. Pretty cool, huh? Makes it very flexible, at least if you use it in Sonic Mania, Forces, and either CD or 3 in Sonic Origins, whereas in Sonic 1 and 2, after using the drop dash the first time, you are stuck with moving in the same direction. Like if you jump and then drop dash again immediately afterward, you cannot travel in the opposite direction, which is sort of weird to me. It might have to do with how the physics were made in both 1 and 2, but I can't be completely certain. Either way, the drop dash is less flexible in 1 and 2 than it is in all the other games, but it still gets the job done, so what's there to worry about? With everything that I've explained here for you guys, is it any wonder now why the drop dash has become so popular in the Sonic community? Imagine how well it's being utilized by Sonic speedrunners, man oh man. I haven't watched that many speedruns lately, but I can only imagine how much of a field day Sonic speedrunners are having with the drop dash. No doubt it has served to help improve their records tremendously since its introduction. And because the drop dash keeps Sonic in a rolling state, you're able to attack enemies or break through walls while moving at the speed of sound. Yeah, I couldn't resist, sorry. If I were to think of any downside to the drop dash at all, it would just be this. While you have the regular shield equipped, you can use the drop dash, but if you got a Sonic 3 shield, like the water shield, fire shield, or electric shield, the drop dash is off limits, which is kinda unfortunate, but each of the shields themselves still have impressive abilities too, so it really isn't much of a sacrifice. Still, if I were to follow in the footsteps of Chow Mix and make a tier list where I rank all Sonic's abilities from his games, the drop dash would easily go into the S tier, or the highest part of the tier list. It is without a doubt one of the best improvements to Sonic's gameplay formula, and I firmly believe Sega should keep it as a staple for future titles going forward. And it looks like they're doing exactly that, because for the first time ever, modern Sonic will be adapting it into his own moveset. Whereas classic Sonic will be sitting this one out because he's been deconfirmed for Frontiers by the man himself, Takashi Iizuka. It was shared during a rapid-fire interview with Game Informer last week. So for anybody hoping for Classic Sonic's inclusion, unfortunately, you're out of luck. As much as I love Classic Sonic, he needs to sit this one out. The series has to be allowed to move forward, and it will never do that if we keep going back to leaning on Classic Sonic as a crutch. Modern Sonic needs to be allowed to stand on its own 2 feet once again, and he will do just that with Frontiers. I was already mildly let down by the reuse of old stages for cyberspace, as I had hoped to see brand new stage designs instead. Though to some degree we might get that still, because you know that stage made entirely of streets. It is meant to be based on Sonic's history, but apparently they're going with new angles for these stage designs, which I'm okay with. But if we brought back Classic Sonic as well, then I would have been madly annoyed, so nah buddy, I'm sorry but you need to sit this one out. You've already got Origin, so have fun with that. Being Modern Sonic on the Drop Dash will certainly be an experience. I'm already picturing many ways that this could go, and each one just fills me with more eagerness than the next scenario. So, a 3D Sonic with the Drop Dash. Yes, please? Just, don't be like this guy and drop dash off the island, please. Nah, but seriously, I hope I've been able to convince you guys that the Drop Dash being in Sonic Frontiers is something to be hyped about. But even if I fail to do that, well, I think it's a discussion worth having still. As an aside, before anybody points this out, and I know there will be someone who does this, yes, the Drop Dash, or something similar to it, was almost made into a reality as early as 1994 with the release of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Unfortunately, it was cut during Sonic 3's development and replaced by the Insta-Shield. In hindsight, I think that was a wise decision because for the design of Sonic 3's levels and bosses, the Insta-Shield would have been better suited to take on all of that. Whereas the Drop Dash in Sonic Mania definitely stole the thunder because it was much better for the stage layouts as they were then, and plus it was new, so of course people would be fixated on it. Some of Sonic's tools, however, have aged poorly. The Drop Dash, on the other hand, has not. It's still fairly young, but even as the years go by, I think it will be out there still as one of Sonic's better abilities. And that should do it for this video, guys. So now I ask you, what do you think about the Drop Dash being in Sonic Frontiers? Let me know in the comments down below, and as always, if you like my content, don't forget to sub and ring that bell for more of it, and be sure to leave your likes and comments before you go. Now you don't mind, I'm gonna drop Dash on out of here, but I will see y'all next time. Until then, peace! Blue blurs for life. Take care.